Hey cousins, welcome or welcome back to RoReactz TV, where I react, review, and recap skits from the Kountry Wayne skit universe. Alright, so today we start out with Amanda and Candace. And you know what? I thought that they were, a little bit mad at each other because, Candace had to tell Amanda off for acting a fool up in the office. And then Amanda wasn't able to fill in for Candace when she really needed her. And Amanda was also working from home. So I thought it was a little it was a little problem, but I guess they're back together again. So this scene starts out. They're outside of the office. All of the girls are coming in to check in to work. Amanda is waiting on Candace. Candace pulls up and the conversation begins. They greet each other. Candace is like, "Hey girl, what's up?" Amanda says, "What's up, girl?" She says, "Well, how did you sleep?" Amanda says, I slept good, but it's early, but I'm still getting up. And Pierre didn't put you to sleep the way that you wanted, huh? Go on, Pierre. She says, "Well, how about you?" Candace says, "You know what? I need coffee. I need tea, something. Maybe something a little stronger than water. I don't know." She went to sleep upset, telling Chase he needs to mind his business. So they're making their win. And then Amanda says, "Wait a minute. Let's stop. I forgot to tell you last night about this conversation that I had with my sister." And then Candace says, "So what's up? Is everything okay?" She says, "Yes, but she says, I went to her house so we can work out, and it's a regular day." And then guess what? Candace says, "What?" She says, "Kai is over there." Candace says, "Oh, they're trying to get a relationship with the baby." And then Amanda says, "Well, I guess you could say that, but my sister, she's just trying to be a good wife." She says, "Girl, I'm looking at this baby, and I don't think that's Anthony's son." This says, "You're reading my mind. You are reading my mind. I have said this before." She says, "That baby is not his." Amanda says, "It can't be." She says, "Girl." Amanda says, "He got this sandy hair. He got his facial structure is different. The forehead, the eyes. I don't know." Candace says, "Yes, you're seeing what I see." Amanda says, "But what's crazy is I told her. I went to Amber and I asked her, 'Do you think that Kai is really Anthony's baby?'" Candace said, "Well, how did she take it?" She said, Amber, she's trying to keep the peace. And she just was like, "No, I would know if it's not Anthony's baby. Because, they got the DNA test done, right?" Candace bumped that DNA test. Tampered with and all type of stuff. Nope, they need another one. It says, she's not in a position right now where she can possibly handle betrayal. So she's not even thinking about that can't even possibly be his child, and neither is he. Because if Amber bring anything about this baby that he's so in love with to his about him talking about he doesn't look like you, let's take another DNA test. When I tell you cursed out. So Amanda says, "Well, you know what? My sister was like, at one point, me and Shayla was friends, and I would know if she's messing with somebody else." "Yeah, Amber, just like you knew she was messing with your husband right under your nose." Amanda says, "Well, you know what? I didn't want to put more stress on her head, so I just dropped it. But it really does not sit right with me. That baby does not look anything like Anthony. And we already know that that's not his baby, but I get tired every time they say, 'He looks just like you.' I be thinking, y'all didn't put 100 on 10. Look like who? Stop playing with us." Amanda says, "You know what? I'm not going to put nothing extra on it. I'm going to let her deal with it. But I just tell her, you cannot put nothing past Shayla. This is Shayla we're talking about." "No, Amanda, don't fall back. It's time for you, Amber and Candace, to do your big one. Brush his hair and put a little to the side. Brush his little gums and put a little of that saliva to the side." I hate to say that. And the same for Anthony. Brush his beard, brush his teeth. We gotta get it going. We cannot rely on Angelina and Shayla, but who's going to bring it to him if it does happen? Because he's going to go off. Why did you do this? He's going to be so angry that she went behind his back to clarify things more than he is going to be upset if it's not his child. Because I believe that even if it's not his child, he's still going to support Kai financially. He still is going to be there for Shayla. He'll be hurt, but we already saw with Momo. Don't build yourself up for a grand finale and get your feelings hurt. All right, y'all. These two agree, and then they're going to go on off into the building to take care of their business. Drop your thoughts in the comments, and I will see you on the next RoReactz TV video. Also, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you, guys. See you later, cousins.